Hey everybody, Kathy and Angela coming to you here from the Alberta Women for Independence TPA, third-party advertiser. Women for Independence. Why are we going for the women? Well, because we represent 50-ish% of the population, despite what others may think. And so we need to make sure that women understand exactly what is going to be coming at us in October, specifically on October 19th. And it is my honor to introduce you to my co-pilot. We have been dubbed the Thelma and Louise of Alberta.
Without the cliff.
Without the cliff, yeah. Everybody's still alive so far with all the traveling that we've done over the last year and change. And we've been having a great time going around the province, helping people understand the necessity for Alberta getting out of Confederation, not, chiseling out the province and moving somewhere else, but getting out of Confederation. And now we have all of these other questions that are being posed to us in October. And because we are not very good at staying quiet about these things, we thought it would just be best to register as a third-party advertiser to make it all legal, make it all above board, so that not only can we speak freely about this without getting into any kind of trouble, but also it gives everybody an opportunity to support us while we're doing so. So we continue to ask for you to do that and to invite us to you. We invite you to invite us to come and talk to you and your neighbors and your colleagues and your coworkers about these 9 questions and, 10 questions. And on top of that, we thought it would be really advantageous to do a little video on each question. Because they're a little crazy. Angela, why don't you tell us about just how crazy these questions are?
Well, Kathy, is kind of like what you said. You thought that the Apostle Paul was like the run-on sentence person in history, but I think the Alberta government has upped that game a bit because these questions, I think a lot of people are going to be walking into the voting booth for the first time, maybe having not seen these questions before, and they're going to be met with a giant run-on sentence paragraph and have to make kind of a snap decision there. Most people, when they go to the voting booth, for an election or whatever, they've already made up their mind. They step in, they make the check mark, they hand it back to the lady, and it's done. But I suspect we're going to have a lot of people walking in there and being surprised by what they are being asked to make snap decisions on in that moment. And so we are hoping to avoid that scenario and to have the conversation, show people what the question is going to be beforehand. Let's discuss it. What does it actually mean? What are the implications if we vote yes, if we vote no? And be prepared and be confident when you walk into that voting booth that you already know what you want and how you want to vote.
Exactly. So today we're going to tackle question 2. We have another video that tackles question 1, and we're going to do short videos for every single one of them. So then you can just take it, share it, do whatever you want. And hopefully we will all go into October 19th knowing exactly how we want to vote and why. More importantly, why we want to vote this way. So here is question number 2. One of the longer ones that is going to be posed before us. Do you support the government of Alberta introducing a law mandating that only Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and individuals with an Alberta-approved immigration status will be eligible for provincially funded programs such as healthcare, education, and other social services? That's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. I'm married to a permanent resident who is a relatively new Canadian. He's not a Canadian, he's permanent resident, relatively new to Alberta.
Yeah.
We actually considered bringing his mother here. He's an only child. Bringing his mother here. And the very thought of bringing someone in who is in her 80s, who will be reliant on the social infrastructure that we have here without having paid into it, we couldn't do that. We couldn't do that. And so we moved her to Montana, not too far from us because we live in the very southwest corner of Alberta. And we're like, no, we can, it's not as convenient as having her right here, but I could
But
not do
she's
that.
close enough you could look after her still.
She's close enough that we can still look after her. We're within a couple of hours. So
Yeah.
if something happened, we could get there quite quickly. But yeah, that was the number one thing, is like, I cannot in good conscience do this,
Mhm.
because yes, we have healthcare that is provincially funded, through our federal transfers that come back to us, our money that we send there then comes back to us.
Yeah.
Same thing with education, same thing with other social services. And that just was not going to work. What has just happened to my camera? Hang on. There we go.
There you go.
The sun
sun
came through
moved.
the window.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is an interesting question. I don't know. What do you think, Kathy?
Well, I think we could actually look at this from two perspectives. The first is that it's very obvious we do not have the infrastructure, and we talked about this in the first video that we did for question 1. We just don't have the infrastructure to support all the people that are coming here. It's not that we're not welcoming or we don't want people here. We just don't have a house big enough to fit everybody right now. That's what's going on. And we're seeing that in our schools, and particularly in our healthcare system.
Yes.
We're also seeing that the federal government is paying these folks a lot of money to be here, and all kinds of subsidies that we're paying for. It's just going through the federal government to then get transferred to the folks who are coming to live here, to make it their home. And that's not right. If you're coming here, you should be able to support yourself, first of all. And the other thing that we're seeing, particularly in our schools, is a bit of a cultural divide in some of them, in the bigger centers.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Right? Where the kids are coming in and it's very different from what they're used to, or maybe their experiences have left them a little bit traumatized or a lot traumatized, and that's not conducive to classroom learning. There's all kinds of things that we need to manage as a province. I mean, these are supposed to be provincially run, and yet the federal government is imposing all sorts of pressure and burden on us that shouldn't be. So when we look at this, do you support the government of Alberta introducing a law mandating that only Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and individuals with an Alberta-approved immigration status be eligible for provincially funded programs? Yes. They've not been here long enough to put some money in the piggy bank to pay for this stuff. They just haven't.
They haven't. And the fact is that until you have your PR or become a Canadian citizen, you are a guest.
Yeah.
You are a guest. And you just, by definition of that, you are temporary. And yeah, I agree with everything that you've said there, Kathy. And it goes, I don't think a lot of people realize exactly like how much is being given to new Canadians. And I can speak to this personally because my husband, we laugh about it because we're just like, what is this? When he got his PR, we were introduced to this program. It's an app. It's called Canoo, CANOO. And it's for newcomers to Canada. And it's basically an app full of freebies. And one of the freebies is you get free admission into any of the national parks, right? You can just go up and you show it. And we tested it out. We downloaded it just because I was like, what is this?
Really?
And we actually tested it out. We went out to the national park. I mean, we have a park pass that we paid for ourselves, but we took it up and we said, oh, here's a Canoo app. And sure enough, oh yeah, there you go. You can just come on in. And the things that are listed on there. And I was like, why would they do this? Like, you get free tickets to rodeos, you get free tickets to theater productions and music productions, and like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow.
Certain companies sponsor these different things as well. It's not just the government, but a lot of it is the federal government. And I said, well, I suppose you could make the argument that they are trying to introduce newcomers to the cultural parts of Canadian society. But first and foremost, freebies have never been a part of Alberta society.
Nope.
That's not something that we take pride in.
No.
Or that we would want to perpetuate onto our upcoming generations.
Exactly.
So, they completely missed the boat. It's not about freebies, and there's a lot of other ways to learn about Canadian culture other than getting a free pass to the rodeo or a free pass to whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was mind-boggling.
That is mind-boggling. The other story that I heard, and I have every reason to believe it's true, is that people are coming here and they quickly learn that if they have another child, they immediately qualify for even more child tax credit, or whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
Whether they're a citizen or not.
Yeah, which does, like, a tax credit is if you've paid taxes, right? But
should be.
I don't. Anyways.
Should be. So when we look at these questions, they're worded in, and I think they're worded in such a way, A, is to bring confusion. And again, I harken back, confused minds can't make a decision. So most people will just vote no. But it's also worded in a way that if you don't say no to this, well, then you're heartless. How dare you? And that's not right
either. You're
No.
racist or whatever, right? And it's not about that. It's about the fact that I saw a stat once where they said, okay, we had this many, 1 point so many million people come into Canada last year. In order to sustain the healthcare system, we would have had to have built so many hundreds of hospitals or so many hundreds of schools. I don't remember the exact numbers, but somebody had actually figured it out. And they said, where are those hospitals and where are those schools? They are nowhere to be found. So it's not necessarily about saying, well, you haven't paid into it. I mean, that is a part of it. And it's not about saying, well, we don't want you here. That's not it. It's those who come here we need to be able to care for them like we care for our own people, with schools, with hospitals, with other social services. And it's about sustainability again. It's not sustainable.
Really is. And the people who want to come here need to want to come here for the future that it offers, not the welfare that it offers.
Yeah,
right?
100%. That's going to make the best experience for everybody.
Oh, 100%. 100%. 100%. So when we look at this question, we encourage everybody to vote.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We need to do this.
100%. Right on. Well, on to the next one.
Alrighty.